Here we go. Hello and welcome, sports fans, to this live video streaming event from Table Rock Sports Productions in partnership with our local school districts and outstanding sponsors who make these live presentations possible. I'm Jim McCoy, along with Mark McLemore on the camera. Johnny McCoy coming to you live from Sutherlin High School, Bulldog Stadium in Sutherlin, Oregon, in northern Douglas County. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome to the Lithia Superstore pregame show, powered by Siskiyou Cellular in Southern Oregon, and featuring the Sutherlin Bulldogs hosting the Cascade Christian Challengers. We're pleased to bring you this game on TableRockSports.net in partnership with the Sutherlin School District and our sponsor, Business Partners. Joe Brett is the executive producer for this event. Our sponsors keep these events free for fans to enjoy. Please let them know you appreciate their support. Please help Table Rock Sports by subscribing to our YouTube channel. And thank you if you already have. Well, before we take our first break, Mark, week one in the book. One of the things we can look forward tonight is we can kind of see, weren't a little quite sure, Sutherlin being kind of sandwiched in between a couple of fires going on in Southern Oregon. And we've got beautiful weather in store for tonight. No threat of rain, and certainly no worries about the canopies blowing away.
No, none of that, and no smoke either. Looks like the smoke is mostly to the south from what we can see from here. And so here in Sutherlin, the wind's got a little breeze blowing toward the south, which ought to keep that smoke down that way. And it's beautiful here. Clear skies. Temperatures are nice. Perfect night for football.
You betcha. Well, our thanks to assistant principal at Sutherlin High School, Sean Radford, for helping us get set up this evening. And we're going to be setting up. Actually, you Cascade fans listening along the way, you'll notice throughout the night when Sutherlin makes a big play that you'll hear the cheers a little bit louder, just for the simple fact that we are on the Sutherlin cheering section side of the field this evening. And every once in a while, we may have a camera shot where we have to deal with the posts like we do in Lakeview, but it's better than not being here at all. And maybe we just have some good long touchdown plays to eliminate that.
Well, and it's one of those deals where we have to go where there's power.
Yeah.
And in this particular stadium, the only place they have power is in the press box. So we're sitting sort of directly below the press box in the bleachers, and just happens to be the Sutherlin bleachers section. So we'll see how that goes tonight. Should be okay. We've got a nice view. Johnny's got us set up on the camera. You can see that from the shot he's got going on, and we're looking forward to another Friday night football game.
That's right. That's one of the beautiful things about fall. September has to be one of my favorite months of the year because school gets going again, and it means all kinds of great fall sports are going on, whether it be soccer or cross country. And then, of course, nothing finer in Southern Oregon than Friday night football. Got to thinking, Mark, and you and I have been working together since 2010, and my first call for Cascade Christian football was in this stadium in 2009, the final season for Andy Maurer. Jake Getman was quarterback that year. He had to sit out that game, so remember this guy, Colton Cochran, made a rare start at quarterback in the days of the double wing, and we've done a lot of football from here before. We've done even a little bit of volleyball, but this will be our first football call in quite some time.
Yeah, and I don't think it was turf back then either.
I don't think so. And as a matter of fact, I remember we had enough trouble with the cellular strength that Mark Perry and I ended up over in the visitors section passing a phone back and forth to do a radio broadcast that night. So we're in much better shape this evening than we were on this night 14 years ago. And the Challengers coming off a victory over North Valley, 29-6 in week one. And then it ended up being a close affair. The Challengers playing against the Knights on Thursday night. The Bulldogs playing against the Crusaders on Friday night. And it ended up being a block kick that decided the outcome, in which the Crusaders came out on top.
14-13. So not a lot of offense in that game, as you can tell from the score. But we'll see how this one goes tonight. The Challengers, if you remember from last week against North Valley, had a little bit of struggles early in that ball game trying to get the offensive rhythm going. Did a much better job in the second half and sort of ran away with the game in the second half. But we did also see a little bit of North Valley, with their big line trying to run the ball down the Challengers' throat a bit. I suspect we're going to see some more of that tonight with this Sutherlin Bulldog team. Probably, going to try and line up and run the ball at the Challengers. They saw that, North Valley somewhat successful doing that. You would think that they'd have a similar game plan coming in.
Absolutely. Well, what we'll do right now is we'll take a quick timeout, and when we return, we'll get you ready for the start of tonight's game, Week 2 of the Oregon 3A football season. And this broadcast featuring the Challengers and Crusaders. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout.
Are very curious about your new family member.
Hello.
We built her so we could get a family plan.
Well, with U.S. Cellular, it's just $19.99 per line for 1, 2, or 3 lines.
Oh.
I guess we don't need a 4th line anymore.
This is awkward.
U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Visit U.S. Cellular at Siskiyou, Southern Oregon's exclusive authorized agent for U.S. Cellular, now serving Roseburg and Klamath Falls. See SOUScellular.com for details.
Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
This is Maya. As an embedded systems engineering student at Rogue Community College, Maya spends a lot of time in the lab, learning circuit design and making great connections with her instructors and classmates. By riding the bus and not owning a car, Maya saves almost $1,000 a month. RBTD helps Maya get to and from class safely and easily, enabling her to invest in her bright future at Oregon Tech. Way to go, Maya!
This portion of our pregame show is brought to you by Bill's Glass. Bill's Glass is the clear choice in Southern Oregon for almost 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass. We're about 5 minutes or so away from the kickoff of tonight's game, and we're the second week in. The Challengers coming in at 1-0, and according to the 3A coaches poll compiled by OSAA, they have the Banks Braves, one of the Final Four from last year, in the number 1 spot, followed by the Challengers, and then by Vail. But you were talking about it on the way up, Mark, that, there are some things you can take away from the early part of the season. But by the same token, there's an expectation that what we're seeing now will only get better as the season goes on.
Well, as a football team, especially, football's one of those sports, you only play one game a week. So you get tested once a week. So the goal, as in any sport, is to be better. But, basketball, other sports, you'll have a couple of games a week or, 3 games a week possibly. So with football, a lot of practice every week. And then every Friday night or, usually during the season, you get tested. So it'll be interesting to see how much better that Challenger offense is after the first week. They sputtered in the first half, better in the second half. But now with another week of practice, another week of looking at film and seeing what they did wrong, and making some adjustments and corrections, I expect it to be a little bit better this week, and hopefully a lot better this week. And I'm sure the Bulldogs from Sutherlin are going to be doing the same thing. So it's going to be interesting to see how the two teams react to each other, adapt to each other. And, as I said, I kind of expect the Bulldogs to run the football and try to run around and through the challengers. And so Cascade, again, going to face another test with a sort of undersized defensive line against a team that's a little bit bigger than them on the line, and see how they can, overcome that if they're going to win this football game.
Well, and you talk about big. I think there's a couple of guys that will be watching tonight as far as being featured players for Sutherlin. One of them being their junior quarterback, Taj Flora. Well put together kid at 6'4" and 200 pounds. And I recall the game plan for Sutherlin against St. Mary's last week is they wanted to go out and ground and pound and take time off the clock. Not only will we'll see him, but I know you've been impressed by the look of sophomore running back Tucker Mack.
Yeah, the guy looks like he is put together and runs downhill. I think he's going to be a good test for the challengers. They got to tackle. That's the other thing that needed to improve from last week. We saw a couple different plays against North Valley where the challengers just didn't tackle the football. And that'll get better as the year goes along, as we've discussed previously. And so those improvements we need to be seen every week.
Well, they just keep working on it. Week 2, the two teams getting ready to square off, and both of them coming out of last week's affairs. Not much worse for wear, no major injuries. I think if you're a Challenger fan, you have to be encouraged by the fact that I can only recall one fumble in the game, and that ended up not being for a loss as Derek Farmer fell on it. Then I think probably if you're Sutherlin, you can look at your team and say, hey, we came out and played a good defensive game against a St. Mary's team that has some dangerous pieces on it, and we almost took a road win.
Yeah, or at least a tie. I mean, they lost by a point, a blocked extra point. The game was very close throughout, and, they've got to be feeling decent about their first outing of the year as well. So we'll see how these two teams react to each other. Sutherlin a little bit bigger on the offensive and defensive line. Challengers, I think, would have the speed advantage. So we'll see how those two matchups play out as we get this one started.
Well, one of the things that you have to like is the yards after catch we saw from Luke Wilson last week. Ashton Moody joining Caleb Scaglione and rushing for over 100 yards. The captains are gathered at midfield, and they're settling the coin toss. What we'll do is take a quick 1-minute timeout, and then we'll be back with more here on TableRockSports.net.
So what do you do when a loved one has been wrongfully injured or killed? It's simple. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Pick it up. Let's go. Come on. Defense. Defense. What am I teaching you at home? Has this kid played before? Shoot it. Oh. Ah. Come on, ref. Open your eyes. Can't you see out there? So, which one's your kid?
The referee.
You can be a parent, athlete, coach, or an official, but you can only be one. Know your role.
The band is here tonight, so we're going to go ahead and go to the national anthem. Well, we haven't had an opportunity to hear a high school band deliver the national anthem for a while, and it definitely sets the tone and the mood for the evening.
No doubt about it. You got to love it when the band's here, the cheerleaders, the whole atmosphere. Very nice full stands tonight here in front of us for this football game between the Challengers and the Sutherlin Bulldogs. And you can see quite a full stands on the other side of the Challenger faithful as well. So love the turf field.
And now,
beautiful scene right now.
Offensive starters.
All
First
right.
for the Challengers.
Challengers getting ready to receive.
John Getman.
Back deep to receive for Cascade Christian,
Number
wearing
1,
white.
A
have
senior, Christopher Freilich.
Luke Wilson wearing number 83.
Number 6.
And then back there with them,
A sophomore, Caleb
I believe we might have
Scaglione.
Dylan Westlake over there.
Number 7, a senior, Ashton Moody.
The
Number 12, a sophomore, Derek Farmer.
Bulldogs getting ready to kick it away.
Number 13,
Travis Regon,
a senior, Peyton Maurer.
junior kicker.
The number 50, a senior, Luke
And the
Ryder.
kick is up. And it will bounce into the end zone.
51,
And the Challengers
Mason
will take it at the
Hoffman.
20.
Number 52,
Let's go ahead
Sam Seuss.
and meet
Number
the
70,
starting
Jack
offense for
Number
Cascade Christian.
74, Zach Cook. Number 83,
At
Luke
quarterback will be
Wilson.
Ashton Moody. He'll be joined in the backfield by Caleb Scaglione. The receivers, Peyton Maurer, Luke
And
Wilson,
now for the
Christopher
Bulldogs
Freilich,
of
and Derek
Sutherlin High
Farmer.
School.
The offensive line,
By Brett Cross.
Jack Nix, Sam
Number
Seiss,
4,
Zach Cook,
Taj Flora.
Luke Ryder, and Mason
Number
Hoffman.
5, Alexander Longbreak.
After the first play from scrimmage,
Number 15,
we'll
Trent
meet the
Westrom.
defense
Number
for the
20,
Bulldogs.
Ty Terry.
Moody dropping back, looking to
25,
throw,
Tucker
completes
Mack.
the short out to Peyton Maurer.
Number 33,
He makes the
Caleb
catch at the
Philippi.
28-yard line, where it'll be a
Number
second down
51,
and
Jason
manageable.
Mosier.
Looking at the defense
Number
for the
55, Gunnar Bowles. Number
Bulldogs.
62,
On the
Patrick
defensive line will be Gunnar
Robinson.
Bowles, Noah Woolley,
Number
Hunter
64,
Clark,
Ryan Bryant.
and Ryland Bryant.
And
Pass
number
falls
72,
incomplete,
Hunter
intended for
Clark.
Derek Farmer. We got Longbreak, Terry, Moser, Philippi, Gonsalves, Taj Flora, and Trent Westrom. We have a third down and about 1 for the Challengers. And taking it is Christopher Freilich. He makes a cut, loses a tackler, and takes it out to midfield. Keeps his feet before he is run out of bounds into Bulldog territory.
Yeah, nice carry by Christopher Freilich. First running play of the game. That's the Challengers a first down and gains about 30 yards.
Long pass for Moody, looking for Farmer. He just outthrows him a little bit as they try to go for it all.
Derek Farmer. Be second down and 10 from the Bulldog 40-yard line.
So it'll bring up second down and 10 for Cascade. Little short pass thrown to Farmer.
Pass caught by number
Farmer,
12,
versatile
Derek
player.
Farmer.
He is the Challengers' number 2
Third down and
quarterback.
5.
And that'll bring up a third down and 5. Challengers with the football. Luke Wilson streaking down the sideline.
Touchdown.
Ball
Touchdown,
carried by number
Challengers.
83, Luke Wilson. Touchdown, Challengers.
35-yard run by Luke Wilson for the touchdown.
Okay, be nice to get that on the right side of the board there. Cascade Christian going for 6. Luke Wilson as the Challengers score on their opening drive. Mason Hoffman in for the point after attempt. And he'll be out of the hold of the quarterback, Ashton Moody. 10:42 left to go in the first quarter of play as Hoffman sizes it up. Hoffman kick End over end, right down Broadway. It's good.
Point after
And the
attempt
senior
is good.
puts the Challengers up by a score of 7-0. 10:42 left to go in the first. We'll be back after these messages on TableRockSports.net.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Any time is a good time to plan your funeral, except at the time of the funeral. At Conger Morris, we know that there are so many advantages to planning ahead. It eases the burden on our families at their worst time. Pre-planning also alleviates their stress, knowing the funeral costs are already taken care of. And it allows your service to be more meaningful, with all of your wishes being taken care of. Call us today for personalized assistance in creating your own plan. Conger Morris, we'll always be there.
Challengers getting set to kick it away. Alex Fianaka, short kick that bounces at about the 11-yard line. Picking it up is Ty Terry. He'll take it from about the 16-yard line, and that is where the Bulldogs will
20,
set it
Ty
up.
Terry.
Looking at the lineup for the
first
Sutherlin
and 10
Bulldogs.
Bulldogs at their own 16-yard line.
It'll be Todd Flora at quarterback. He'll be joined in the backfield by Ty Terry and Tucker Mack. The receivers, Trent Westrom, Caleb Philippi, Alexander Longbreak, the line Hunter Clark, Jason Moser, Rylan Bryant, Gunnar Bowles, and Noah Woolley. First down and 10 for Sutherlin. On first down,
number 25, Tucker
it's
Mack.
Tucker Mack. He'll end up picking up about, looks like about a good 3-yard play.
Second down and 6.
And it'll bring up second down.
Yeah, a little inside run, and that's what I think we're going to see a lot of Sutherlin try to do against this Challenger defense. Challengers look like they have a couple extra linebackers in, and not as many. It looks like a corner and just one safety.
Opening drive of the game for Flora.
Last week, tackles led by Maurer, believe it or not, from his safety spot. Another inside run by the Bulldogs.
Tucker Mack carrying the football.
Pickup of 2.
He'll end up picking up a couple of yards on the play to bring up a third down and manageable.
Third down and 4.
So I think the question here is, knowing that the Bulldogs like to run the football, will they try to pass here in what could set up to be a fairly manageable short pass play for them if they so choose?
It'll be interesting. They might try some misdirection, too. They've given the ball to Mack twice. They do have 2 guys in the backfield. Remember, that was what North Valley was fairly successful with, was some of the inside reverse and misdirection runs.
Philippi in motion, and the pass tipped away. They're making the play for the Challengers. His second defended pass of the season is Peyton Maurer.
4th and 4.
Yeah, nice job by Peyton of just getting that hand in there and knocking that one down prior to it getting caught, because the ball was well thrown and looked like it was going to be a reception for a first down, but Maurer gets that hand in there and knocks the ball down just before it gets to the receiver.
Caleb Scaglione will be back deep to await the kick. It looks like it's going to be Ty Terry that will take care of the punting chores with 9:10 to go here in the first quarter of play. A little bit of pressure there, a wobbly kick. Looks like from here it might have gone out of bounds just inside the 50-yard line.
Yeah, straight out of bounds because Challenger with some pressure that time. Ashton Moody in there from the edge, getting right on the punter just before he got it away, just before Ashton Moody got a hand on it, it looked like. So now the Challengers with great field position on the Bulldog 45.
So Challengers, who got on the board first thanks to a touchdown run by Luke Wilson, Wilson had quite a week last week with 9 receptions for 112 yards. Moody with Scaglione, the single setback. Wilson, the man in motion. They'll fake the handoff. Moody, who went over 100 yards last week, will take care of it himself.
Ball carried by number 7, Ashton Moody.
And that'll take the Challengers down to the 39-yard line.
6. He's second down 4.
So the Challengers, no trouble moving the football early on in the ball game. Trip receivers now out to the left. Moody swings a pass out to Farmer, his second catch of the night. He has running room. He'll go up the sideline to the 10, to the 5.
Pass completed to number 12,
he takes it to the crib,
Farmer.
and the Challengers are up 13-0.
39-yard reception by Farmer on the little bubble screen. Nice blocking out in front of him by Maurer and Scaglione. And a touchdown for the Challengers just like that.
So Challengers 2 drives, 2 quick scores. Mason Hoffman in to attempt the point after. Hoffman lines it up. Gonna go for a 39-yard touchdown pass, but a lot of that running by Farmer, showing off his athleticism. And Hoffman successful on the point after attempt. The Challengers take a 14-0 lead. We'll take a timeout. John L. Scott scoreboard showing the Challengers 14.
Thanks for the ride. I'll see you after the game.
Hey, Dear Katie, I've been your #1 fan since I watched your first game all those years ago, and I still love watching you play. But I wanted to see you win so badly that my competitive nature got the best of me. I lost track of what's important. I thought I was supporting you, but I was really just embarrassing you. I'm not your coach, and I'm not an official. I forgot my role. I'm your parent, and you deserve better. From here on, I promise to keep my emotions under control. I'll cheer for you and all the other players, no matter the score, no matter the outcome. Thank you for sharing with me how I can do a better job of supporting you, your team, your coaches, and the sports you love. Still your #1 fan. Love, Dad.
8:24 left to go in the first quarter of play. Jim McCoy along with Mark McLemore, Johnny McCoy showing you the pictures, and the Challengers get ready to kick it away. Alex Fianacca, the sophomore and former soccer player, lofts the kick down to about the 11-yard line, and it'll be Terry with the return. He'll get out across the 20-yard line up to the 25, and we have a flag coming in late.
On the play.
Yeah, usually a hold or a block in the back. Let's see what the call is here.
Official at the 25-yard line. Looks like this is going to be walked off against Cascade.
Personal foul.
Personal foul.
Challengers.
So
apparently some extracurricular activity against Cascade.
Yeah, with it coming in late, it does kind of make you think. Either words said or just a little bit. Remember that call back by the referee back in the 70s NFL game, giving him the business.
Yes, and that sets up the Challengers in really tough position as the Bulldogs are all the way out to the to their own 42.
Yeah, I don't know that I want to be giving the opposition any more ground than they earned.
Yes.
And it's Terry with the carry.
No gain.
And he is wrapped up by the Challenger defense. And it'll bring up a second down and 10.
Nice job so far by the Challenger front. Bulldogs not really able to move the football very far against that Challenger front, and much better so far than we saw against North Valley.
So give a shout out to Sam Seiss, Zach Cook. Also in the linebacking core, you've got the likes of Brendan Van Wart, And now taking the football, trying to take it outside.
Carry
Picked it up and dropped to the turf.
Caleb Philippi.
Caleb Philippi with the carry, and there with the pile drive. Looked like that was Luke Wilson on the stop.
Was Luke Wilson coming from the safety spot and making a good read and getting all the way to behind the line of scrimmage to make a tackle. Nice job by him of sniffing that one out and making a great play coming from his safety spot.
So with the loss on the play, that'll spot the ball at the 39-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down and long. And Mark, the best I recall, I don't think we've seen a pass play from the. Oh wait, maybe one attempt.
We have seen one. Yes. Remember, incomplete, knocked down by Peyton Maurer.
Taj Flora out of the shotgun, getting pressure from Freilich. He'll try to release the football. It is up in the air and running
Pass
in on
intended
it.
For number 5, Alexander Longbreak.
He was looking for Alexander Longbreak as tight
12.
end, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Interesting to see what the Bulldogs choose to do here from their own 39. 4th and long, you would think they would punt the football.
Especially back at the 39, you got a pretty fair amount of field to cover.
And they are in punt formation.
So Ty Terry getting ready to kick it away. Back deep to receive for the Challengers. We have Caleb Scaglione back there.
Oh, nice punt.
Very nice kick there by Terry. It'll bounce and hit, and then Scaglione escapes a would-be tackler. He's going to head toward the sideline, crossing the 15-yard line, out to the past the
20. Returned by number 6, Caleb Scaglione.
Gets it out to about the 22. Ryland Bryant there.
Penalty
with
flag on the play.
We got a penalty flag down, so let's see what that's about.
That's out well past what the line of scrimmage was.
I'm not sure what we have. He just moved the flag twice, which is interesting to me.
So I think we concluded we can safely say the ball right now at this moment is at the 24-yard line.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what the flag is about. Let's see what we've got.
And this is going to
personal foul against Cascade Christian.
Personal foul against Cascade Christian.
So that'll move the ball back to the 17-yard line.
1st down and 10 from their own 12-yard line.
So the Challengers.
Again, kind of an odd penalty.
Well, yeah, you have to wonder what's going on down there. But nothing else, you get the sense between some of the calls we saw last week and this week that the officiating crews are really trying to clamp down on
maybe extracurricular
word
set or extracurricular activity after the whistle, maybe. Those are usually the most common items that you get.
So on 1st down, taking off and running with it, Luke Wilson. He'll go ahead and take it out across the 30-yard line, all the way out to the 37.
83, Luke Wilson.
Yeah, that play's been very effective so far for the Challengers. The second time they ran it to Luke Wilson. The first time they got 35 yards.
Down
and this time
the 38-yard line be
they got 26 yards on the play. So that fly sweep to Wilson has been great so far for Cascade Christian.
Trip receivers out to the left for the Challengers. Ashton Moody at quarterback. Low snap. Looks long downfield. Looks like that's Maurer back there. And Maurer
has the catch.
He makes the catch, and he picks up another Challenger 1st down.
Caught by number 13, Peyton
So Peyton Maurer.
That was a nice catch that time. Ball over his head. Had to get his hands up just at the right time. And he does a great job of coming down with that.
Talked with him earlier this week. Had a nice recruiting visit out at the University of Montana. Tell you, he's got springs in his shoes. He can jump up and get a ball. Right now, catch made over on the left side. Making the reception is sophomore Derek
Farmer.
He gets about 5 yards on that one.
Tackled by number 15, Trent Restrom.
Making the tackle, Trent Westrom, wearing number 15. Twin receivers to either side. Westlake in motion going to the right. They'll hand the ball to Scaglione. He finds an opening up the middle, and he gets it inside the 10-yard line.
Carry by number 6, Caleb Scaglione.
Well, I think we had questions about the line mark, about what it would be like, because it's essentially, outside of Jack Nips, a new unit this year. I tell you what, I think that's a hole that maybe even I could have run through.
Yeah, that was a big one that time.
So the Challengers in the red zone with 4:46 to go in the first quarter.
I think we have a penalty. Do we have a penalty? Offsides on the
Offsides against
Offside
the
the call against the Bulldogs. So where is the ball? Was
first and goal
down at
from
the
the 4-yard
7
line.
or about the 9. It'll be first and goal at the 4. Scaglione going to take the carry. Runs behind the right side of that Challenger line, trying to bull his way forward. Looks from here. He got about to the 2-yard line, maybe the 1.
So give him 3 yards on the carry, puts the Challengers at the 1.
3.
So it'll be second and goal for the Challengers.
Goal from the 1-yard line.
In the backfield, Scaglione along with quarterback Moody. Wide to the left is Peyton Maurer. Receivers in tight to the right side. Here they'll hand again to Scaglione. From here, looks like he crossed it, and he scores.
Caleb Scaglione.
1-yard touchdown run for Scaglione, and the Challengers on the board again. Third score of the quarter.
I think a lot of people who were watching the game last week tended to remark about the slow start to the game and maybe begin to wonder if there weren't some cracks in the Challenger armor, but they pulled away at the end, and the way they're starting tonight, it looks like there's absolutely nothing wrong with the Challenger offense.
Yeah, certainly executing it well tonight.
Mason Hoffman with the point after attempt. It's end over end. It's good.
Extra point is good.
Your John L. Scott scoreboard with 3:59 to go in the first. It is the Challengers 21. The Bulldogs 0. We'll be right back after these messages on TableRockSports.net.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Come enjoy the patio weather and a brand new menu at Tap Rock Northwest Grill, where friends and family gather and memories are made. Come visit us today or visit our website.
Challengers getting ready to kick it away with 3:59 left to go in the first quarter of play. High kick once again. Bianca consistently landing at right around the 10-yard line. Ty Terry bursts up the middle with some blocking from his receiving unit. And he'll take the ball to the 30-yard line.
Down at the 30-yard line. Be first down and 10 for the Bulldogs.
So that'll be a first down and 10 for Sutherlin under the direction of Brett Klock.
So far in the first quarter, Challengers with 110 yards on the ground and 96 yards through the air. So very balanced attack for Cascade Christian.
Which is exactly the way that Coach Getman wants it. Mack in the backfield along with the quarterback Flora. Flora going to go ahead and try to take off and run. Fianaka slowed him up a little bit, and then also there on the play.
Number 4, Taj Flora on the carry.
Derek Farmer. So that Challenger defense doing a good job of bottling up the Bulldogs.
29-yard line.
Well, and I'm seeing the Challenger defense do a lot better job of just staying home, staying in their gaps like they're supposed to, and not getting outside those gaps. So good to see that. A little more balanced defensive look from Cascade so far.
Well, that's so counterintuitive for a player because a lot of times they're like a Labrador on the first day of hunting season. They're yanking at the chain. They want to go out and hit something. Flora under pressure. It's intercepted, picked off by Maurer.
Pass
and
intercepted by number 13.
Tackled at the 29.
Maurer.
And the Challengers forced the turnover.
Yeah, that time Challenger brush flushed Flora out of the pocket, and he sort of got a little desperate there. And
first and 10,
just kind of hucked it up in the air toward his guys. And, the more experienced quarterbacks are going to throw that one out of bounds, and that's probably what he should have done in that situation. But instead, the interception in the short field now for Cascade Christian on the first turnover of the ball game.
Challengers back on offense, short field here. They're down at the 29-yard line of the Sutherlin Bulldogs. Moody in the backfield along with Scaglione. Moody, pump fake, looking long. He's got Freilich. Touchdown, Challengers.
Number 1, Christopher Freilich.
Christopher Freilich.
Touchdown,
his first
Challengers.
Touchdown reception of the season.
Yeah, nice job that time of Moody finding the open guy, Freilich, on the kind of double move. He did a post corner, and he was wide open in the end zone. Turned the cornerback completely around, and nice ball by Moody. Thrown a little bit, but he wanted to make sure his receiver was going to get to it. And a touchdown for the Challengers. One play and another touchdown for Cascade Christian after the interception by Maurer.
Mason Hoffman with the point after attempt. The kick.
Point after attempt
end over
is good
end.
by number
It's good.
51, Mason Hoffman.
So your John L. Scott scoreboard reading with 2:49 to go in the first. It's the Challengers 28 and the Bulldogs nothing. We'll go ahead and keep it right here. Remember that after the game, it's a great time to visit Dutch Bros and enjoy your favorite beverage. September is Bucks for Kids Month at Dutch Bros, where $1 of every purchase goes to local youth organizations in our communities. Thanks Dutch Bros for supporting Table Rock Sports. The Challengers taking the early lead against the Bulldogs. Sutherlin trying to look for an answer here late in the first quarter.
Yeah, so far the Challenger defense has been excellent and really not allowed the Bulldogs to do much with the football. They've ran a total of 8 plays so far in the game for 3 yards.
Well, I'll tell you what, Peyton Maurer is playing with a lot of confidence tonight. He looks like he's ready to go hunt bears with a hickory switch.
Well, he didn't get that. He only had 2 receptions in the first game, and other than leading the team in tackles on defense, he didn't get a lot of work on the offensive side of the ball. And tonight, we're seeing the opposite of that, I think.
Very involved, very busy player, and the Challengers taking the early 4-touchdown lead. Getting set to kick it away is Alex Fianaka. More of a line drive type kick, and it ends up at the 4-yard line, fielded by Terry. Terry crosses out the 20-yard line. He'll work his way out past the 30-yard line.
Return for number 20.
Jack Nips there making the tackle for Cascade Christian.
Up to the 30-yard line. It'll be first
So
and 10
the Bulldogs to start this possession with pretty decent field position.
Yeah, second best of the game. Remember on the last kickoff, they got a personal foul penalty against the Challengers when the ball went all the way up to the 40-yard line. This time they're at the 30, still on a nice return by Terry.
Flora under center. 2 backs behind him. And they'll hand the ball off. Making a nice pickup on first down.
Tucker Mack with the carry for the
Tucker
Bulldogs.
Mack takes it. They'll spot the ball at the 32-yard line.
3, 2nd down and 7.
So they'll give him 3 on the play to make it 2nd down and 7 to go.
And so far, that Challenger front has been stout against the you see the Challengers tonight playing three guys down and 4 linebackers behind them.
Going in motion is Philippi. Terry going to try to take it out wide.
Terry by number 20, Ty
There
Terry.
to meet him.
Maurer.
Peyton Maurer.
Tackle by number
showing up
13,
once again defensively.
Peyton Maurer, no gain.
Yeah, nice job by Maurer coming down from that safety spot again and making a tackle.
No,
3rd down 7.
No gain on the play. They'll bring up a 3rd down and 7. Shout out to that linebacking core. Brendan Van Wart, Ashton Moody. Also have Derek Farmer in there. Secondary. You got Kellen Klecker along with Luke Wilson, Peyton Maurer, and Dylan Westlake. 3rd down play here as Mack moves to the right side of Flora.
And delay a game against the Bulldogs.
So this will cost him yardage, and that'll
Delay
bring up
a game against the Bulldogs.
Just a 5-yard penalty.
Thins out the playbook a little bit, though.
12.
Yeah, makes it goes
Correction, 11.
Goes from 3rd and manageable to 3rd and long.
Well, that's the thing, but the 3rd and 7 might be a possibility they could go ahead and take off and run with it. 3rd and 12 pretty much makes it a pass play.
Well, and they have not been very successful so far. They haven't completed a pass. 0 for 3.
Flora fakes, tries to elude pressure, keeps his feet,
and then
shows
takes
a lot
a
of
hit.
Taj Ford tackled in the backfield.
And he's taken down, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's Van Wert on the hit.
Be a loss of 2.
Mendo with the
4th
stop.
down and 13.
It'll bring up a 4th down and long.
22-yard line.
Ball spotted at the Sutherlin 27-yard line. Terry will get ready to kick it away to Caleb Scaglione. Clock running. This will be the last of the...
It's a fake.
And they try to fake.
Ball carried by number 4, Taj Flora.
I don't think much faking going there.
No, and I'm not sure if maybe that was a bad snap.
Could have been.
Somehow Flora ended up with the football.
So that'll end the first quarter of play. After one, the Challengers out front early, leading 28-0. We'll take a timeout, and then we'll be back with more action here.
At the 28-yard line, it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Challengers.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Any time is a good time to plan your funeral, except at the time of the funeral. At Conger Morris, we know that there are so many advantages to planning ahead. It eases the burden on our families at their worst time. Pre-planning also alleviates their stress, knowing the funeral costs are already taken care of. And it allows your service to be more meaningful, with all of your wishes being taken care of. Call us today for personalized assistance in creating your own plan. Conger Morris, we'll always be there.
Start of the second quarter, the Challengers.
Be 1st down and 10 for
with the
Cascade
ball.
Christian from the Sutherlin 28-yard line.
At the 28-yard line of Sutherlin. Scaglione in the backfield with Moody at quarterback. We got a pair of receivers out to the left, kind of in tight. Little pitch play to Scaglione. Scaglione crosses the 25-yard line, finds some running room, scampers up the sideline as he gets inside the 10.
Number 6.
Looks like down to about the 3-4 yard line. Nice run by Skaggs. Good blocking, although there's a penalty marker down. Let's see what's going on with that. Right back there at the 21-yard line. I think we're going to give Scaglione the 6 yards to the penalty.
Illegal block in the back.
6 yards to the penalty.
The challengers.
And then after that, we're going to take the 10-yard penalty.
Be first and 13.
So I'll bring up a first down and 13 for the challengers. Opening moments of the second quarter of play. Moody out of the shotgun. Pair of receivers to his right. Hands the ball to Scaglione. Scaglione, good defensive play by Sutherlin.
By number 6, Caleb Scaglione.
Looked like we had Taj Flora.
Taj Flora.
The quarterback, Taj Flora, in there with a nice stop on Scaglione.
So how about a little bit of some of that?
No gain on the play.
Turnabout being fair play for Sutherlin. Moody dropping back, looking long, has a man downfield. It's Freilich. He makes the catch. Touchdown.
Christopher Freilich for a Cascade Christian touchdown.
Yeah, Christian Freilich down the middle. Moody taking a shot as he let that one go, but it's just enough to get to Freilich for the touchdown.
So Christopher Freilich with his second touchdown catch of the evening gives the challengers a 34-0 lead, pending the point after attempt by Mason Hoffman. Freilich, a starter last year, but kind of one of the unsung guys in the challenger receiving unit. A little bit of trouble there, and now taking off and running with it is
extra point
Hoffman.
Carried by number 51.
The kicker, Hoffman, runs that ball into the end zone for 2 points.
So Hoffman gets two the hard way.
Yeah, he does. Somehow he gets the ball into the end zone after the high snap kind of bounced on the ground. It took a nice turf bounce right up to him, and he's able to sneak around the right end for the 2-point conversion.
So there's Mason Hoffman making chicken salad out of chicken feathers.
There you go.
And challengers leading us 36-0. Today's game is brought to you by Tap Rock Northwest Bar and Grill in Grants Pass, Elmer's Restaurants of Medford, and the Southern Oregon Sports Commission's Know Your Role campaign, promoting respectful behavior at youth sporting events. Table Rock Sports also wants to say hello to our 2,750 YouTube subscribers who get updates when the games go live. Join the team at YouTube/Table Rock Sports. A lot of action going on in the 3A ranks this evening. Last week, it was kind of split up between Friday and Saturday. Going into Labor Day weekend, school not starting yet. Other games around the league, St. Mary's playing host to North Valley. That's also on Table Rock Sports. Phoenix will play host to Coquille. And South Umpqua is paying a visit to Douglas. Fianaka getting ready to kick it away for Cascade. And it is back deep.
Oh, you know which way the wind's blowing, right?
Sure do.
First quarter, he was having trouble getting them to the 10. Second quarter, he kicks it into the end zone. And you can see the wind's kind of blowing that direction.
Of course, that cool breeze feeling good here in the Bulldog supporter section where we sit tonight, up in the top row in front of the press box. Sutherlin at their own 20. On first down, Flora going to try to take off and run with it. Immediately met by a challenger who slows him up. Flora picks up a couple 3 yards on the play to bring up second down.
3. He's second down and 7.
So the Challengers defensively on their marks this evening.
Yeah, doing a great job of really rallying to the ball. Very tight formation now. Almost a double wing look for Sutherlin.
On second down.
It's kind of like a spin T there, wasn't it?
Almost, yeah. Haven't seen that in a while. Brings back memories of Ron Williams and the Phoenix Pirates.
Pickup of 2. He's third down and 5.
And for
their own 25
those of you who are
line.
college football fans of a certain vintage, back to the days of Biggie Munn and Michigan State.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a couple of minutes ago.
Just to date you a little bit there, Jim.
Yeah. Third down and 5.
Back to more of a spread look now for the Bulldogs. You would think, you mentioned it, probably a passing down here. We'll see what they decide to do. They haven't had much success throwing the ball so far.
Flora, tall quarterback, pass attempt. Kellen Klecker there with the coverage.
Pass intended for number 33, Caleb Philippi.
Caleb Philippi looking
fourth down and 5
for a penalty call there that he's not going to get. So
very well timed by Klecker, getting there right when the ball did, and hitting the receiver and kind of raking through his arms with his hand. And that turned into a very nice play for the Challengers. Ball batted down, and fourth down now for the Bulldogs, and they are in punt formation again once again.
Scaglione awaits the punt from Terry, goes over his head. Some trouble there. And that will give the Challengers
at the 10-yard line
a short field, short being the understatement of the evening.
10.
Well, that's
as they take over.
The Challengers.
It's about as bad as it can go right there. A 14-yard loss puts the Southern Bulldogs in negative territory for the evening on the offensive side of the football. And now the Challengers with it. 9:06 to go here in the first half, up 36-0. They get the ball on the 11 of the Bulldogs.
Moody takes the snap, running with it out of the backfield. That's Brendan Van Wart. So the update for the numbers for you, for those of you who have rosters, Van Wart's wearing 53,
yep.
And then Cole Breitler is wearing 71. Van Wart, kind of a swing player. See him play a lot of linebacker defensively. And he'll take some turns offensively, as we've seen there, as he picks up a couple of yards on the play. He'll get to do it again. Find some running room. He dives toward the end zone. Touchdown, Challengers.
Number 53, Brendan Van Wart.
9-yard touchdown run for Van Wart. And the Challengers in the end zone once again.
So those who watch also get to serve. And the Challengers now attempting the point after. Mason Hoffman. Clean snap. And
pushed it to the right. Well, we got the 2-point conversion. You had to kind of,
so it evens it out.
It's a compensation thing.
All right. 8:35 left to go in the first half of play. Challengers lead in the ball game, 42-0. We'll be back after these messages.
Diverse venues, we got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
Okay, you know how people complain about how Dutch Bros workers are like
too nice, too hyper, compliment you too much, whatever. Maybe you're not nice enough. Maybe you need to get a little Dutch Bros in you.
Discover the West Coast destination for those seeking more. More sunny days, more athletic facilities, more outdoor adventures, more to do during downtime. Medford is your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
Challengers getting set to kick it away. Alex Fianaka sent it to the end zone last go-around. Let's see what happens on this kick. End over end. That'll be taken at about the 9-yard line by the Bulldogs. And there to drive him back.
Kickoff return
on the return play.
Luke Ryder.
Westrum.
So Luke Ryder, one of the unsung guys on the Challengers, getting a chance to make some noise. He'll play. We'll see him on the offensive line throughout the evening and getting a chance to lay the wood to somebody. And now the Bulldogs will take it over. 1st and 10 at their own 22. Flora looking left. Pass reception made.
Pass caught by number 15.
Pass caught by Trent Westrup, the 5'8", 150-pound junior. Able to make the catch. And he'll pick up about 3 yards on the play.
Be second
That'll
down
bring up
and
a
7.
2nd down and 7.
Nice play by Maurer out there making a tackle. Assisted out there, I think, by Derek Farmer as well. First completed pass of the game for the Bulldogs.
2nd and 7. Flora going to carry the ball. One to score for a couple of yards. Brendan Van Wart there for the Challengers. Also there for Cascade is Luke Ryder. And that...
give him a couple of yards on the carry. Brings up 3rd down and about 5 for the Bulldogs.
3rd down and 6.
So sun going down here in Sutherlin
27
on
yard
a beautiful, technically still late summer evening. Pass reception made. Philippi making the catch.
Pass caught by number 33, Caleb Philippi.
And Luke Wilson, who made the hit. Really good read out by him and a nice hit. He's down on the turf, holding his arm.
Pick up a 3.
Shoulder, maybe.
So the trainer from Cascade Christian,
3rd down and
Kurt
3.
Smet, out to look after him.
4th down and 3.
What we'll do for the moment while they tend to him is we'll take a quick timeout. It is the Challengers leading 42-0. We'll be right back after these messages.
You an honorably discharged U.S. veteran? If so, did you know that you and your spouse could save approximately $5,000 by taking advantage of using a VA National Cemetery? You and your spouse get a grave or urn space, grave lining, opening and closing, headstone, and perpetual care, all free. Conger Morris can assist you with making all final arrangements and also help with other benefits that you and your spouse are entitled to as a veteran. Call Conger Morris or visit one of the offices.
As you can see here, Luke Wilson going out on his own power. Mark thinking maybe, well...
It looks like he just got the wind knocked out of him. So hopefully that's all it is he's making his way off the field.
So it'll bring up a 4th down and 3. And that's the tough thing about this game. It is a collision sport.
Absolutely. And he made a great play and made the tackle as well on that play.
On fourth down, the Bulldogs are going to go for it. Flora.
I think they're going to get it.
On the carry.
And it's a first down, Sutherlin.
First down.
First down of the game for the Bulldogs.
The first
6-yard
Bulldogs from
6-yard carry.
36-yard line.
So Sutherlin with some signs of life here about midway through the second quarter. Hoffman and Breitler will come off the pitch. Up front we got Seiss along with Nips and Zach Cook. Dylan Westlake in on defense. Flora keeps his feet, lunges forward. From here, it looks like he'll pick up another first down for Sutherlin.
Yeah, longest run of the night. Second first down for Sutherlin.
Gain of 10. Be another Bulldog first down.
So that'll move the ball up toward midfield. 5:46 left to go in the
from their
half.
own 46-yard line.
Both these teams a little tight in terms of their rosters. I think, Mark, you counted 20 players for Sutherlin tonight. And the Challengers with 36, that's not a bad number, but that's lower than what Cascade's used to seeing. With the ball is Mack. Mack gets loose. He gets across midfield up to the 47.
Pick up at 6.
First time tonight where the
Second
Bulldogs have had a little momentum, and Mike Sean calls
Cascade
timeout.
Christian.
So a timeout called by the Challengers. We will take one as well. John L. Scott scoreboard reads the Challengers 42. Sutherlin nothing. We'll be right back after this.
I ride the bus because it helps me get places on my own terms. Another day, another ride. And it's all thanks to Sophie. Everybody say hello to Sophie.
We ride the bus to get to school. We used to carpool from Medford, but this way, we don't have to worry about gas or parking.
Another day, another opportunity for David to be a public menace.
Hey.
Whoa!
Fall sports action is brought to you by our title sponsor, Lithia Superstore Jeep Dodge Chrysler, and our presenting sponsor, Siskiyou Cellular of Southern Oregon. New stores are opening in Roseburg and Klamath Falls. Now 9 locations to serve you.
So the Bulldogs with a little momentum here, a couple of first downs, and now second and short.
We'll hand the ball to
Terry.
Terry on the
Terry. Terry at 6 foot, 175 pounds.
6.
He'll move the sticks for the Bulldogs.
First down.
As they
be first and 10 from
make
the
their
Cascade Christian
deepest charge into
41-yard
Challenger
line.
territory this evening, with the ball spotted at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, Challengers getting pushed around a little bit here in this last drive by the Bulldogs, and you can tell the Bulldogs putting a lot of guys in the box trying to push the Challengers around.
Flora on the keeper. Ashton Mooney wrapping his hands around him. Looks like forward momentum should at least net in maybe about a yard, maybe 2 on the play.
I think we'll give him 2.
So no secret here. Knew that Sutherlin would be...
Pick up a 2. Second down and 8.
We knew that the Bulldogs would be coming out and try to ground and pound this evening. And having some success with it here. Flora with Philippi in motion. Tries a little bit of fly sweep action. He gets past the 40-yard line down to about the 38.
Gets a couple of yards on the play, brings up 3rd and 6. Best drive of the game so far from the Bulldogs. Remember, they started down at their own 20.
3:39 left to go in the half. Joining Flora in the backfield is Tucker Mack and Ty Terry. Terry with a little swing pass. Gets some running room. Gets some blocking ahead of him. And it'll be a first down, Sutherlin.
Yeah, nice little play that time. Fake screen to one side and a screen back to the other side. Picks up about 7 yards and a first down for the Bulldogs.
So that'll move the ball down to the 30-yard line of Cascade Christian. Clock running with 3:18 left to go in the first half of play.
Well executed that play that time by the Bulldogs, and caught some of the challengers looking to one side of the field. They throw it back to the other, and a 7-yard gain.
Flora going to take it, but there, defensively for the challengers, sneaking through and taking them down for a loss, Jack Nips.
Yeah, nice job by Nips at getting it in the backfield.
Second down, 11.
So a loss of 1 on the play brings up a second down and 11. Ball on the 31-yard line with 2:35 left to go in the half.
Clock running, and not really a factor when you're at the 30. And remember, in high school, clock stops with a first down. Bulldogs now second down and 11.
Flora with Philippi in motion. Pass out in the flat.
Drop the football.
Looked like he had it there for a second and lands it onto the turf.
I think it's complete. I think they called it a fumble, and he pounced back on it for a short gain.
Timeout, Bulldogs.
So that'll bring up about a third down and 8.
Third down
as the Bulldogs working on putting points on the board here with 1:58 left to go in the half. Today's game is brought to you in part by Avista Utilities and our friends at Pinnacle 365. Use your Peak Rewards to save on gas and snacks on your next road trip with the team.
So completing the last 4 passes in a row now, Flora, and the Bulldogs moving the ball a little bit here against that challenger defense.
Well, that's one way to keep the challengers from gaining further separation.
Yep.
Play a little keep away.
5 first downs now on this drive, the only 5 they have in the game. So far, 31 yards on the ground for the Bulldogs, 14 yards through the air. And a big play here for them on 3rd down and 9. Probably more than likely 2-down territory, however.
Yes, ball at the 29-yard line of Cascade Christian. Flora in the backfield along with Mack. Receivers to the left, Westrom and Terry. And you have Philippi out to the right. Going in motion is Westrom. Flora gains a head of steam, and he puts all 6'4", 200 pounds into that run. And it looks like it'll be another first down for Sutherlin as they continue to grind here late in the second quarter.
Longest run of the night. Flora with a 15-yard burst there over the left side of that challenger or offensive line. Nice blocking out in front of him. And another first down for Sutherlin as they sort of milk the clock and move the ball down the field here. Under 2 minutes to go in the half. Clock stops with Flora going out of bounds. And he's a big, powerful kid. We've seen him really use that strength to kind of push for extra yards after first contact.
Flora out of the shotgun, drops back, looks to throw, gets some pressure from Moody. And it looks like from here that Flecker made a play on it, but couldn't hold on. Westrom, the intended target for Sutherlin. Clock stopping with 1:45 to play in the half after the incomplete pass.
Klecker almost got that ball, almost able to intercept it, but just couldn't get his hands underneath it, and it bounces on the turf. And luckily for Sutherlin, as they get another opportunity, Flora had his arm hit by Moody as he was coming off the edge.
2nd down and 10. Flora going to run behind Mack. His running back. He gains some momentum. Keeps his feet. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
14-yard touchdown run by Flora.
Taj Flora getting some good blocking, including a nice lead block there from Mack. And Sutherlin puts 6 on the board with 1:37 left to go in the half. Travis Burgon in to attempt the point after. Holding will be Taj Flora, the quarterback.
Sportsmanlike conduct against the challengers.
Burgon, right-footed kicker. And the whistle blows.
I don't think the referee was ready. He was still talking to the challenger bench there. So I think that play will be a do-over, so to speak. I don't think the ball was set and ready to play. So we'll see this re-kicked.
I didn't know the whistle maybe was the bells in my head.
No, there was a whistle clearly blown. And, of course, unfortunately for the Bulldogs, that's a bad snap, and it's a dead play.
So the point after attempt unsuccessful for Sutherlin. Challengers will have one more opportunity here in the half. They lead in the ball game by a score of 42-6. Sutherlin getting points on the board on a run by Taj Flora. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Are very curious about your new family member.
Hello. We've built her so we could get a family plan.
Well, with U.S. Cellular, it's just $19.99 per line for 1, 2, or 3 lines.
Oh.
I guess we don't need a 4th line anymore.
This is awkward.
U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Visit U.S. Cellular at Siskiyou, Southern Oregon's exclusive authorized agent for U.S. Cellular. Now serving Roseburg and Klamath Falls. See SOUScellular.com for details.
Penalty against the challengers on the point after attempt, so that will make this an easier kick for Ragon.
Well, and you got to watch it if they're challengers. This is a potential onside kick because of its placement. And, you know, if you're the Bulldogs, this would be a perfect opportunity to try one.
Ragon, end-over-end kick, and that one will land in the end zone. So the challengers will take it at the 20.
Kickoff into the end zone. Be 1st down and 10 for the challengers from their own 20-yard line.
19 plays for Sutherlin in that second quarter, including that touchdown. The challengers so far in the second quarter with just 5 plays. So the Bulldogs doing a good job of keeping the football away from that Cascade offense in that second quarter so far.
4 receiver set, Twins, left and right. Moody at quarterback, dropping back, looking to throw, looking in the direction of Maurer. Maurer with acres of space, makes the catch and gets across the 40-yard line up to the 42. Taj Flora there with the tackle for Sutherlin.
Really nice throw by Moody that time, and a great route by Maurer, and catches the football and keeps the drive going as the Challengers right back to the line of scrimmage. Throw it to Maurer again.
Maurer gets across midfield into Challenger territory. Caleb Philippi there with the stop. But the Challengers moving the sticks once again.
Another first down. 11-yard carry on that one, or 11-yard pass play. He's just going to do it. Oh, and Maurer drops this one.
So pass falls to the turf, incomplete. Don't see too many of those. And a flag on the play.
2 penalty markers.
So a discussion between the officials out on the field. And I'm not going to pretend I know what they may have seen in that play.
Well, it was definitely a late hit on the Bulldogs, but I don't know what that second flag was about. If one of the Challengers was using their mouth again, and it's going to be offsetting personal foul penalties. Let's see what the decision is here. But I do know that there's been a lot of chatter going on out there, and I hate to see it. I know Getman's not going to be happy about that.
No. Well, that's the thing. You see the guys in the pro ranks in college get away with that kind of stuff, and it may look entertaining. It may sound kind of funny, but in a situation like this, it takes away from your effort. Let's put it that way.
Ashton Moody really having a nice game so far, Jim. He's only has 3 incompletions on 12 attempts. So he's 9 for 12 for 191 yards so far.
We have a foul, 1 flag against the Bulldogs.
So we have a personal foul and then an unsportsmanlike conduct, both against the Bulldogs.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Bulldogs.
So 2 15-yard penalties. 1 during the play, that's the late hit, and 1 after the play.
So it'll be first down and 10 for the Challengers as they make their way down to as they continue to walk it off.
It's a 30 yards in penalties all the way down to the Bulldog 17-yard line.
So the Challengers now in the red zone with 1:10 left to go. Kellen Klecker split out wide to the right. Going in motion is Westlake. Westlake going to take off and run with it. Scampers toward the end zone.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Challengers.
17-yard touchdown by Westlake.
For the Challenger touchdown.
So nice job of blocking out there on the edge by the wide receivers. The old fly sweep play. And Dylan Westlake with that speed. He's a very fast kid, able to get around the corner and into the end zone for the 17-yard score. And the Challengers put more points on the board right before half.
His career with Cascade Christian High School started out as a soccer goalie, and he was a very good one. We've also seen him make big plays in basketball. He's getting his opportunity in his senior season, and he's making the most of it. 1:03 left to go in the half, and here's Mason Hoffman with a point after attempt. The kick is up, end over end, and it's good.
Point after is good.
We got 1:03 left to go in the half. John L. Scott scoreboard. Cascade Christian 49. Sutherlin 6. We'll be back after these messages.
Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
This is Maya. As an embedded systems engineering student at Rogue Community College, Maya spends a lot of time in the lab, learning circuit design and making great connections with her instructors and classmates. By riding the bus and not owning a car, Maya saves almost $1,000 a month. RVTD helps Maya get to and from class safely and easily, enabling her to invest in her bright future at Oregon Tech. Way to go, Maya!
Kickoff for the Challengers. Westrom.
Hey, he reached out to get that ball and his knee hit the turf. And so
15, Trent Westrom.
That's going to be down right where he caught the football.
So an unfortunate turn for Sutherlin here as they're deep in their own territory, back at their own 5-yard line with 1:02 left to go in the first half of play.
I think at this point Sutherlin would be happy just to run a couple plays and get out of here for halftime, considering their field position. So far for the Bulldogs, though, they did have a nice drive in their last possession.
Well, you can see what this team is capable of being, and it's early in the year, and I think a lot of people are expecting a good battle between South Umpqua, Cascade Christian, and maybe even Coquille getting into that mix a little bit. But there's a lot of season left to go, and a real opportunity for this Sutherland team that has a number of underclassmen on it to make strides and
continue
to build.
Yeah, we looked at their roster. Only 4 seniors on this team, so they're definitely going to get better as they go along. Just a ton of juniors on the football team.
So after the penalty, it'll be a first down and 13 for Sutherland. They'll try to move the pile forward and try to get out of the shadow of their own end zone. We're under a minute left to go here in the second quarter.
I think that was Mack on the carry, but looks like no gain.
The amazing thing about Mack, Mack, 5'8", 200 pounds, and he's just a sophomore. He'll be a guy that that will just continue to grow and be continue to be an important part of that Sutherland attack.
And you can see he's a guy that's been in the weight room, if you know what I mean. He's very well put together.
So we have Philippi out wide as a receiver. And Taj Flora breaks loose. He gets out across the 25-yard line, out across the 30, where he's brought down by Caleb Scaglione.
At their own 33, it'll be first down and 10 for the Bulldogs.
So it'll be first down and 10 for Sutherland.
28-yard gain, and you've seen Flora have some nice runs here in the second quarter.
Well, that's quite a combo they got in the backfield, and also throw into that mix Ty Terry.
Yeah, and they're taking advantage of the power running play. They're putting a guy in motion to one side of the field, and then you can see they run the football that way with Mack leading the way as well.
Fumble on the play, covered by the Bulldogs.
And Flora coming up off the bottom of that pile.
Why did the clock stop? Oh, they called timeout.
Timeout Sutherland.
I'm like, why did the clock stop?
Now you know.
Now I know.
So timeout called with 7 seconds left to go in the half. For almost 50 years, Bill's Glass has been the clear choice in Southern Oregon for your home, vehicle, or business needs. Locally owned, family run. Bill's Glass supports our schools and our communities. So when you hear that crash, think Bill's Glass.
Yeah, it's amazing the disparity in plays here in the second quarter. The Challengers have run 9 plays in the quarter, and they have 4 touchdowns in the quarter as well on 9 plays.
My goodness.
The Bulldogs have run 22 plays in the quarter. 16 of those run plays. So 16 rushing attempts for the Bulldogs in just the second quarter.
Second down and 12 with 7 seconds left to go. Sutherland at their own 31-yard line. Flora with a pair of receivers out to his left. He's looking long, looking for Westrom. And they're almost picked off. Dylan Westlake there to defend the pass. And that will end the first half of play. We've made it to halftime.
begin in the
Invite
first
you to
half.
stay tuned.
Cascade Christian Challengers
Coming up,
49, Sutherlin Bulldogs 6.
we'll have our halftime report for you. And that is brought to you by Medford Parks and Recreation. At the half, it's the Challengers 49. The Bulldogs 6 will be back in 2 minutes.
It's game day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
Daily adventures this summer start at Pinnacle 365. Accelerate your day with morning motivation. Freshly ground, swiftly brewed. Add some extra crunch to your lunch with our mouth-watering crispy crunchy chicken. The perfect combination of crispy juicy chicken and irresistible flavors. Earn free rewards and save at least 16 cents a gallon with our Peak Rewards app. Get supercharged and add to your fuel savings when you purchase Core Water, Nestle Ice Cream, and Red Bull. This summer, let's meet at the Peak and save on our daily adventures.
You want diverse venues? We got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays. Diverse venues? We got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
Okay, you know how people complain about how Dutch Bros workers are like too nice, too hyper, compliment you too much, whatever? Maybe you're not nice enough. Maybe you need to get a little Dutch Bros in you.
Discover the West Coast destination for those seeking more. More sunny days, more athletic facilities, more outdoor adventures, more to do during downtime. Medford is your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
5.
Tonight's action is brought to you by the Medford Parks and Recreation Department. The Fall Recreation Guide is due out soon with sports leagues and activities to sign up for. Visit playmedford.com or call the Santos Center at 541-774-2400 to learn more. Checking out the scoring from the first half, it went like this. The Challengers, with 10:42 to go in the first quarter of play, got on the board with a 35-yard run by Luke Wilson. The point after attempt by Hoffman good to make it a 7-0 ball game. Then on the next drive, Ashton Mooney would connect in the air to Derek Farmer. Short pass that Farmer ran in for a touchdown. 39-yard play. Point after good by Hoffman to make it 14-0. Then the Challengers go back to the ground game with 3:59 to go in the first. It was Caleb Scaglione punching it in from 1 yard out to give the Challengers a 21-0 lead after the Hoffman point after. Then closing off the scoring for the first quarter, it was Ashton Moody connecting with Christopher Freilich. Freilich scoring his first receiving touchdown of the year, and the point after good to make it 28-0. In the second quarter, the Challengers were far from done. Once again, Ashton Moody going to Christopher Freilich for the touchdown pass, a 32-yard play. Point after attempt, well, a little bit of problem in the backfield. Hoffman runs it in for the 2-point conversion to make it 36-0. Then with 8:35 to go in the half, Brendan Van Wart, see him a lot at linebacker. Sometimes you'll see him on the line, but gets an opportunity in the backfield. He scores on a 9-yard run. The point after attempt, no good, to make it 42-0. Then Sutherlin with 1:37 left to go in the half. Score on a 14-yard touchdown run by quarterback Taj Flora. Point after attempt, no good to make it 42-6. And then to close out the half, it was Dylan Westlake scoring on a 17-yard touchdown run. And the point after attempt by Hoffman is good, giving us our halftime score, as you can see, at 49-6. We'll be back after we take a 2-minute timeout. Here it is, the Medford Parks and Rec halftime report on TableRockSports.net.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Any time is a good time to plan your funeral, except at the time of the funeral. At Conger Morris, we know that there are so many advantages to planning ahead. It eases the burden on our families at their worst time. Pre-planning also alleviates their stress, knowing the funeral costs are already taken care of. And it allows your service to be more meaningful, with all of your wishes being taken care of. Call us today for personalized assistance in creating your own plan. Conger Morris, we'll always be there.
12 rushes for 144 yards.
Diverse venues, we got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
Okay, you know how people complain about how Dutch Bros workers are like too nice, too hyper, compliment you too much, whatever? Maybe you're not nice enough. Maybe you need to get a little Dutch Bros in you.
Discover the West Coast destination for those seeking more. More sunny days, more athletic facilities, more outdoor adventures, more to do during downtime. Medford is your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
The Medford Parks and Recreation Department invites you to discover all the great classes, field trips, activities, and sports leagues for the fall and winter seasons coming up. Visit playmedford.com to find something for everyone in the family. Well, you know, sometimes statistics, well, they can be a little bit like a politician touting his accomplishments. They don't always tell you the whole story. And I think maybe in one case, time of possession would probably be one of those tonight that would be misleading if you looked at that all by itself.
Yeah, definitely the Bulldogs have had the ball a lot more than the Challengers as far as time of possession. And the second thing you look at is first downs. And, you know, you go Cascade Christian has 9 first downs, the Bulldogs have 8. You'd think, oh, well, it's probably a pretty close game. But then you have to look at the rest of the statistics because in the first half, Sutherlin carried the ball 25 times for just 86 yards. That's 3.4 yards a carry. Isn't terrible. They did a really good job at the end of the second quarter of sort of bringing that average yards per carry up by some nice runs by the quarterback there in the second quarter. Passing for Sutherlin, it was Flora was 4 for 10. In the first half for 14 yards. So 86 yards rushing, 14 yards passing, 100 yards of offense for Sutherlin in the first half. They also had 70 yards of returns on the 7 Challengers kickoffs, bringing their total offense, if you include returns, up to 170 yards in the first half. Penalties for Sutherlin, 5 penalties, 45 yards, and they had no fumbles in the first half, but they did have an interception. Flora had 1 interception. They also had a turnover on downs, if you remember right, on a fake punt that gave the ball back to the Challengers. So a couple of, and they also had a fumble, remember, on a punt as well that turned into a Challenger touchdown on a bad snap on the punt. So a couple of turnovers, 3 in total for the Bulldogs have hurt them, given the Challengers short field, and they've taken advantage of that. For Cascade Christian, again, they had 9 first downs in that first half. Rushing yards, 12 carries for 144 yards. That's 12 yards a carry for the Challengers. Passing tonight for Ashton Moody, 9 for 12 for 191 yards on the night. And so for the Challengers, total offense, 335 yards in the first half. So a nice half by the Challengers. Very balanced, 144 yards on the ground, 191 yards through the air. Moody, 9 for 12, doing a very efficient job of throwing the football. The one sort of bugaboo for Cascade Christian, 4 penalties for 50 yards, and a couple of those unsportsmanlike conduct. And, Coach Getman is not going to be happy about that. But other than those items, I think the defense has been pretty good. Gave up, some yards and a touchdown there at the end of the second quarter. But other than that, they've been pretty good. And the offense has really looked like they've had some rhythm tonight. No punts for Cascade Christian in the first half.
No, they have certainly been on top of their game this evening. As you've mentioned, Mark, Sutherlin having a couple really nice drives, especially toward the later part of the half, and starting to move the football a little bit against that Challenger defense. But on the other side of the coin, the Challengers have been money on every single drive.
Yeah, and 12 yards of carry rushing, and as we mentioned, Moody 9 for 12 passing. So they only ran 24 plays. Did the Challengers in that first half for those 49 points as well, as Sutherland gave them some short fields and made it a little easier for them with those 3 turnovers. So if you're at halftime and you're the Sutherland Bulldogs, you just want to try to do the things you did at the end of the second quarter. Run the football, run the clock, and try to score points at the end of your drives and keep the football away from that high-powered Challenger offense.
Indeed. Well, school year is underway, and even then we've had some sporting events happening along the way. The volleyball team has already got 5 matches under their belt. Some of the jamborees that the soccer teams were due to play were taken out of the mix.
Smoked out.
Because of the smoke and circumstances like that. The volleyball team now 3-2 after taking a loss on the road against Henley last night, but looking at their schedule coming up, and this is definitely a power-hitting Challenger volleyball team with a tradition of excellence under head coach Rob Klecker, and looking coming up at their schedule next week. We see that they'll travel to Brookings Harbor on Tuesday. Then they'll be in action. Their next home date will be against North Valley on Thursday night. Also, the cross-country teams have had a couple of meets so far. The Crusader Invitational, unfortunately, the girls got their meet in, and we had 3 Challenger girls come away with top 10s, including Gwen Van Wart, Sage Griffin, and also Paige Cohey. But by the time, get this, they were lining the boys up. They took a look at the smoke quality, said, can't do it. So that kind of wiped that out. Then last weekend they did a meet down in Reading, and the girls, again, a very successful effort. Gwen Van Wart ended up winning the fastest freshman award among the girls. The boys, the pack of the fastest boys, were inadvertently guided on a wrong turn by a meet volunteer.
Oh, geez.
And so otherwise good effort by the Challenger boys cross country team was undone by a set of bad directions, and so that kind of wiped that out.
That's got to be one of your nightmares if you run cross country, to somehow get on the wrong trail and end up in the wrong place, and especially when you're someplace like Reading and not know where you are. That could be even worse.
Well, and the thing is, it's not even your own fault. You're just telling what the volunteers telling you to do.
Exactly.
And then coming up this week, boys and girls soccer will get underway, and make sure that you visit the Challenger Athletics website, challengerathletics.com, and you'll get all the scores, photos, schedules. Always thankful for the photos that we get from our volunteers and parents, including the venerable Max Brown, who at 89 is still out there taking pictures to this day.
Yeah, you got to love it.
You bet. Well, we're going to take a timeout here. We're moments away from the start of the second half. Challengers lead 49-6. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
It's game day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
Daily adventures this summer starts at Pinnacle 365. Accelerate your day with morning motivation. Freshly ground, swiftly brewed. Add some extra crunch to your lunch with our mouth-watering crispy crunchy chicken. The perfect combination of crispy juicy chicken and irresistible flavors. Earn free rewards and save at least 16 cents a gallon with our Peak Rewards app. Get supercharged and add to your fuel savings when you purchase Core Water, Nestle ice cream, and Red Bull. This summer, let's meet at the Peak and save on our daily adventures.
You want diverse venues? We got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
Maybe. Oh, here we go. 22-15 at half.
Coquille, we're getting some scores here. Mark's checking down the way on the menu at TableRockSports.net. And Coquille looks like they're leading,
22-15 at half.
So
over
Coquille,
Phoenix.
One of those teams we expect to be on the rise this season, leading at halftime against Phoenix, now under the leadership of Coach Charlie Hall. That game 22-15 in favor of the Devils at halftime.
Check on the St. Mary's North Valley game here.
Of course, the Challengers saw the Knights last week and won that game 29-6. St. Mary's victorious against the Sutherlin Bulldogs, 14-13.
So in the third quarter, it looks like North Valley up 14-10 on St. Mary's.
So there you have it, a couple of scores in league action here in the area. Here at Bulldog Stadium, it is the Challengers leading Sutherlin by a score of 49-6. Players just now emerging from the locker room, and that'll give us an opportunity to take one final timeout before the second half. Fall sports coverage is brought to you in part by PlayMedford.com. Sports fans, get ready for the grand opening of the Rogue X Complex at the Howard Memorial Sports Park in 2024. The new aquatics facility is just part of the package. Many sporting events will be featured at Rogue X. We'll take a final timeout, and we'll be back with the second half here on TableRockSports.net.
Are very curious about your new family member.
Hello. We built her so we could get a family plan.
Well, with U.S. Cellular, it's just $19.99 per line for 1, 2, or 3 lines.
Oh.
I guess we don't need a fourth line anymore.
This is awkward.
U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Visit U.S. Cellular at Siskiyou, Southern Oregon's exclusive authorized agent for U.S. Cellular. Now serving Roseburg and Klamath Falls. See SOUScellular.com for details.
Here at Bulldog Stadium, teams getting their final warm-ups in before we start the second half. And Mark, you made note, it looks like North and South Medford.
North is up on Bend right now, and South is up on Del Norte. South up by a touchdown, North up by 2 touchdowns. So both those schools winning here in the third quarter. You can check those out on TableRockSports.net as well.
All right, and that's where we bring you all the action here, video streaming week after week. And here tonight, Mark, Johnny, and myself sitting here in the home section tonight.
Yes.
Among the hometown faithful for Sutherlin.
Nice.
Good turnout tonight.
Yeah, they're nice enough to give us a spot in the bleachers right below the press box area. We're just below that.
Student filming crew, including Zach Northrup and Sadie Page. I'm probably thinking they're thankful that they don't have to get cozy with us.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true.
Medford is your sport ground where the West Coast comes to play. Visit travelmedford.org/sports to learn more about the many tournament venues, world-class outdoor opportunities, and the event calendar to find out what's going on. The Challengers their first road date of the young football season against the Sutherlin Bulldogs. Next week, the Challengers return home for their next football game. I'll bring up the calendar for you. One thing I can tell you, mark your calendar for October 20th. It'll be senior night, and it'll also be homecoming for the Challengers as they lock horns with the Crusaders in the Holy Bowl.
Homecoming and senior night. Can't beat that.
And the Challengers will be in action this coming Friday night. Lithia Driveway Field. That's Wheeler Field, number 10. They'll be taking on the Brookings Harbor Bruins, a team that we haven't seen in over a year. Now the Challengers getting set to kick it away here in the second half, moving from left to right from where we sit, getting set to kick it away.
Yeah, and if you remember the opening of the game, the Challengers got the football first to start the game, so they're going to kick off to Sutherlin here to start the second half. They're trying to find a football at the moment. It's kind of an important piece of equipment to have in order to play a football game.
And I think that they may be looking for a kicker, too.
Well, they got a kicker out there, but he doesn't have a football. So there comes the referee with the football. So,
and there's Alex Fianacca.
Yes.
Getting ready to kick it away, and he has been impressive in the kicking game for the Challengers. He and Mason Hoffman teaming up for the place kicking duties this season.
Well, and you think if you're the kicker, you might want to have the football with you.
Well,
but, that's one of those. It is his first year.
Yes.
He's going to figure that out.
And here we go, the Hayes in the barn. It's time to play. Fianacca kicking it down and taking it about around the 10-yard line. Westrom with it. Takes it out past the 20-yard line, about to the 23, and that is for Sutherlin. Will get their opportunity to open the second half.
Out to the 27-yard line, be first down and 10 Bulldogs.
Let's see if the Bulldogs can get some of that run game going that they did in the second quarter. And I'm sure, the Challengers, Coach Sean, talking to those line guys about being a little tougher in the middle, as we saw a lot of Flora, the big 6'5" quarterback, running with the football and guys in front of him.
At the 27, Flora out of the shotgun. He'll hand it to Terry. Terry works the left side. He'll cross the 30-yard line. Stop short of the 35.
Great first down run. One of the best first down runs of the game for Sutherlin, about 7 yards. And they keep going right where they left off in the second quarter.
It'll be a second down and 3. Ball at the 34 of Sutherlin. Coming limping out of the huddle, Philippi out to the left. And he's going to go in motion now. And they'll go ahead and hand it for Mack. Mack picks up first down yardage and more. He'll take it to the sideline and up to midfield.
Yeah, 15-yard gain by Mack.
Tucker Mack, sophomore running back.
Sutherlin over the 100-yard rushing mark now on the game, unofficially at 108. Nice run that time by Mack, and you can tell that Sutherlin's, taking a little piece of confidence from that second quarter and being able to move the football against the Challenger front. Let's see what they do here as they continue this drive.
Man in motion is Gonsalves. Short pass. Maybe just a bit tad underthrown.
A little bit of heat applied that time by the Challenger defense in the form of Jack Nips, and also off the edge, Derek Farmer. And I know that Flora threw that football a little bit sooner than he really wanted to.
So the incomplete pass brings it to a second down and 10. The intended target, Aiden Gonsalves, 5'9", 160 pounds. They'll hand the ball to Terry. Terry gets behind his offensive line, running behind Patrick Robinson. And it looks like Challengers saying they recovered a fumble.
I think progress was stopped before the fumble, and maybe a yard on the play by Terry.
That'll bring up a 3rd down and 9 for Cascade Christian.
Mason Hoffman that time in there on the stop from his linebacker spot.
So Cascade Christian at midfield.
Now a 3rd and long for the Bulldogs. See what they do here as they continue to overload. You can see how they have an extra lineman on one side of the center, and then they do the quarterback power is what I call that play.
And it looked like they tried to fool the Challengers there, but not fooled is Jack Nips as he wraps up Flora to bring up 4th down and 10.
Lost a yard on the play.
You see Caleb Scaglione in the secondary. We have not seen Luke Wilson return to the lineup, and it may just be
precautionary. I think I might see him over on the sideline without his pads on over there. A little hard to tell from here if that's him or not.
4th and 10. It looks like the Bulldogs
are going to go for it.
And going in motion is Philippi. Flora looking long, looking downfield. Pass. They're looking for Ty Terry. Back there with the coverage for Cascade Christian is Kellen Clacker.
And we've got he's going to call pass interference from here. This ref over here is going to call pass interference on that play on the other side of the field, 25 yards down the field.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, he may well have committed the violation, but
you
would expect
the other problem I have is that same official was on the line of scrimmage. You've got a Sutherlin player in motion, turns up the field before the snap, and does not call the illegal motion. Okay, he doesn't call the illegal motion, which happened at the snap, but then he calls a pass interference penalty 30 yards down the field on the opposite side of the field when there's another official standing right over there. Now, that's not the way you officiate a game.
And now the conference among the officiating crew breaks up.
And it is going to be pass interference against the Challengers.
Pass interference?
And I won't argue that whether it was pass interference or not. My point is
that before that
there was an illegal motion that wasn't called by the same official.
And
that would have been an offsetting penalty.
And let's just say, looking at the Challenger Brain Trust over on the far sideline, I would say that they're in agreement with you.
So a 1st down from... Yeah, and right now they're going to call timeout because they want to talk about it.
Timeout called on the field. We'll take one as well. 49-6 Challengers will be back after these messages.
It's game day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
Daily adventures this summer starts at Pinnacle 365. Accelerate your day with morning motivation. Freshly ground, swiftly brewed. Add some extra crunch to your lunch with our mouth-watering crispy crunchy chicken. The perfect combination of crispy juicy chicken and irresistible flavors. Earn free rewards and save at least 16 cents a gallon with our Peak Rewards app. Get supercharged and add to your fuel savings when you purchase Core Water, Nestle ice cream, and Red Bull. This summer, let's meet at the Peak and save on our daily adventures.
You want diverse venues? We got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
6:03 left to go in the 3rd quarter of play. As expected, a little discussion between the Challenger coaching staff and the officiating crew on the last call, saying, hey, I think there was another call before that one. Right now, running with the football is Ty Terry. Terry right down around the...
Out of bounds at the 29-yard line.
At the 29-yard line, he's driven out. So a good pickup on the play as the Sutherlin ground game continues to chew up yardage here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and a really nice run that time by Terry. As the Bulldogs are doing a better job, don't get me wrong, of blocking for the run game here in the late second quarter and into the third quarter. I just don't like to see penalty gifts given away like that.
That's a tough one, and Flora now going to get in on the running fun. He'll keep his feet.
He is
continues
so tough.
to grind his way forward. Taj Flora.
Nice run by Flora.
Great piece of running here in the third quarter.
15-yard carry there for Flora and another first down for the Bulldogs.
13-yard line, enough for a first down. Be first down and 10 Bulldogs.
Sutherlin. Have they not had the ball the entire quarter?
They have.
Well, you look at that. They have chewed.
Oh, yeah, they're
nearly
taking a lot of time. Well, remember, that whole time, yeah. Remember, it's a running clock. Don't forget that.
Well, yes, this is true. And then, we're seeing here what Sutherlin, this is kind of be their trademark. They're going to be another one of those teams a la the North Valley Knights that will want to try to grind it out throughout the season.
Well, and you don't blame them for that. I mean, when you have a team, like I said, they got a couple of good running backs. We talked about that at the top in Mac and Flora. So, you want to go to your strength for sure. And they've been doing a good job of putting a lot of guys at the point of attack to get Flora, to have Flora the power running game from that quarterback spot. So that's the plays they've been most successful running. So they're going to stick with those. And they're definitely not a team that wants to throw the ball very much.
But when they do, if you've had a successful run game, that helps set up that pass.
So here comes the motion and the fly sweep. And a nice job by guess who? Ashton Moody.
Ashton Moody, I tell you what, you've talked about it, Mark. This linebacking core that the Challengers have may be second to none in the league.
Yep. Well, and Moody especially is extremely tough and reads the football game very well. He saw that fly sweep coming all the way. And a loss of 5 on the play for the Bulldogs.
Well, on that linebacking crew, you got Derek Farmer, you got Moody, you also have Brendan Van Mort and Mason Hoffman.
Yep. All smart guys that know how to read the game.
So it'll be a second down and long. And Flora spinning, looking for a man, and the pass falls to the turf. His intended target, and there was kind of a crowd around that football.
Pass intended for number 3.
That looked like Gonsalves trying to haul it in, and it falls to the turf to bring up third down.
Not sure if one of the challengers might have got a hand on that.
It looked like it from here, maybe. Like Scaglione may have got a hand on it.
Yeah, maybe.
So now that'll bring up a third down and 19. Ball at the 24 of Cascade Christian with 2:19 left to go in the third quarter of play. Mack in the backfield along with Flora. Low snap. Moody coming along, and he takes him down on the backfield.
Sack in the backfield by number 7.
Ashton Moody.
And he came off the edge untouched. 10-yard loss on the play. Really backs up. The Bulldogs, and if I'm them, I'm punting this football, but it's fourth and 30. Well, it's 4th and 30 though.
Yeah.
So you might as well kick this one.
Well, I'll tell you what. You talk about Bulldogs. Moody looked like a bulldog on a pork chop there.
Yeah, he was not going to let Flores has juked him a couple of different times. He was not going to let that happen that time. And Sutherlin chooses to go for it here, which, again, I think this would be a good spot for the quick kick if you got one.
And that may well be the case. Flora, though, trying to run away from Moody again. This time, another sack for the Challenger linebacker, and the Bulldogs will turn it over on downs.
Yeah, a 15-yard sack again by Moody. And the Bulldogs, again, I think a smart play there. I understand the scoreboard and all that stuff, and you want to score points. But 4th and 30, you might as well kick the football down, punt it away, and play for the next series, right?
Right. No, that's a lot of yards to make up, and I don't know that you have a play in the playbook for that, especially when you know that you're going to have the challengers, including Moody, running at you with their ears pinned back. 1st and 10 at the 50, little pitch play for the challengers. And I don't know about that. Bryson Walker with the carry. Loss on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and long.
2nd down and 12.
Bryson Walker on the carry. Loses a couple of yards. 2nd down and 12. And the end of the quarter, Jim.
And that'll end the 3rd quarter of play. It is Cascade Christian 49 and the Bulldogs 6. We'll be back after these messages on TableRockSports.net.
Challengers ran 1 play in that quarter.
Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
This is Maya. As an embedded systems engineering student at Rogue Community College, Maya spends a lot of time in the lab, learning circuit design and making great connections with her instructors and classmates. By riding the bus and not owning a car, Maya saves almost $1,000 a month. RVTD helps Maya get to and from class safely and easily, enabling her to invest in her bright future at Oregon Tech.
Challengers, pretty much the JV unit out there. Grady Sickler taking over at quarterback. His pass complete up the sideline.
50-50 raffle.
Is that Peyton Maurer? Looks like Peyton Maurer still
out there. It looked like
there.
Mauer's still out in the game.
0-0.
You see that Christopher Fralick's still out there.
3.
Split out wide to the left. Number 14 is Caleb Parker. And Walker explodes up the field, and he picks up a challenger 1st down.
10 yards on the carry for Walker. Nice run off the right side of the offensive line. Boy, he's quick.
Walker, the son of former Phoenix Pirates coach Toby Walker, who's now the principal at Cascade Christian High School. Little guy at 5'3", 125, but he makes up for it with excellent speed. Parker makes the catch. And he works his way down to inside the 30-yard line. And Caleb, if I'm not mistaken, he's relatively new to the game of football. In his younger days, coming up through the ranks, he was a soccer player as well. His older brother, Brandon, participated in a number of sports at Cascade. Pick up a 4 on the pass play. Sickler running in from the sidelines. Twin receivers either side of the line. And Walker. And we see a flag come in late on the play. Looked like Walker picked up about 2 or 3 yards on the play.
But we're going to have a hold against the Challengers, it looks like.
Into the ball game along that offensive line. I see Cole Breitler in the ball game for the Challengers. Also checking in at wide receiver is Austin Cook, wearing number 4. Holding the call against Cascade Christian. So they'll walk this penalty off. And this will be about the 40-yard line. 9:34 and counting left to go in the ball game. Sickler getting some varsity snaps. Pass complete. They're making the catch, but fumbling the football is Eli Young. Young
I think he has the first down, though.
Picked up the first down.
Pass caught by number 23, Eli Young.
And looked like the Challengers kept possession of it. Second down. First.
Yeah, another
first down is short. Yeah, the chain gang hadn't moved yet. Now they're scurrying up the field. 1st and 10 at the 23. And Bryson Walker.
He dropped the football, but the Challengers got on it.
Number 20, Bryson Walker.
And there's Cole Breitler, another football newcomer, junior at Cascade Christian.
Do we have a flag again on the play?
Sometimes a byproduct of when you get young, excited guys into the ball game. And
sure what they're doing here. Are they sure what they're doing? There's some sort of penalty. It must be a penalty against the Challengers, it looks like.
Also checking into the Challenger lineup, Scott Van Dyke, 6'1", 240-pound lineman.
Oh, illegal motion against the Challengers. How convenient.
Illegal shift.
Also in the ball game, Evan Stonehill, a junior, 5'10", 205, playing football. Remember coaching him a little bit, working with the middle school track staff at Cascade back when he would have been about a 7th grader, 6th grader. Young fella back then. And now carrying the football for the Challengers. Ball pops loose as Austin Cook runs with it. And it's recovered by the Bulldogs.
First down and 10.
So late in the ball game, Sutherlin getting it back. And they'll have it at their own 28-yard line.
So a nice drive there by the second group.
Yes. Well, I tell you what, Walker, a little guy, but, you know, it brings back memories. Remember, what was his name? The little running back for Oregon State. Made me think of that a little bit. Ended up. The Walker doing a good job offensively, but the Challengers end up turning it over late in the ball game. Now, meanwhile, Sutherlin, opportunity here to put some additional points on the board with 6:22 and counting left to go in the ball game. And again, they only had 20 players suited up this evening, so it's not like they really have much of a reserve group they can turn to late in the ball game. So pretty much you're seeing the guys that started the ball game.
Yeah.
Although I think you were noting, Mark, that there's a younger Flora on the roster. Taj Flora.
Yeah, Dane Flora, number 1. But it looks like he's on the sideline right now.
Pick up a couple of yards on the play with 5:45 to go. Challengers looking to run their record on the young season to 2-0. Flora out of the shotgun. Mack in the backfield with him. Throw a pass, complete to Westrom.
And Walker out there with the hit. Nice job.
Now that I kind of
by
see
Bryson Walker.
I kind of see some Keegan Shawn action there.
Yeah.
If you ask Keegan Shawn whether he would rather run for a touchdown or whether he'd hit somebody, he would rather hit somebody, and he's getting to do so on Saturdays for George Fox.
Loss of a yard on the play. Nice play by Bryson Walker coming up and making a stop.
You remember Walker got helicoptered on the prior drive to end the third quarter. Taj Flora will run it up to the 35-yard line. So that'll bring up a 4th down.
And 6.
So at this point, not really much sense in kicking it.
Nope.
Clock continuing to run.
And he's going to have to call timeout because he's never going to get this play off. His quarterback's. I think he's just going to wait till the clock runs down and call timeout.
3:55 remaining in the ball game. And a timeout called.
Timeout, Sutherlin.
Table Rock Sports thanks our great sponsors, including the John L. Scott Real Estate Scoreboard and our longtime friends from Sherm's Thunderbird and Food for Less in Southern Oregon. I also want to thank our sponsors that include Conquer Morris Funeral Directors of Southern Oregon, Avista Utilities, and the Rogue Valley Transportation District. Routes have expanded to help you get to work, school, or appointments. Visit rbtd.org to learn more.
Yeah, Challengers just a dominant performance tonight on both sides of the ball. And you know, I feel like it's hard to tell. Maybe the opponent not quite as good as they played last week, but it still seems like that offense was a juggernaut tonight.
Well, that's the thing. You know, we have seen Sutherlin with the ability to move the football, especially after about their first 3 or 4 series, and do so effectively. The part that's been difficult for them has been the inability to stop the Challengers.
Yes, absolutely.
So 4th down. They'll hand the ball, and Mack tackled in the backfield. Tackle for a loss by Luke Ryder. And so now the Challengers will get it back with 3:28 and counting to go. The running clock kicking in.
First down and 10 for the Challengers.
Second turnover on downs of the game for the Bulldogs.
The Challenger offense comes out.
Same offense it looks like that we had previously with a lot of the younger kids in there, younger guys in there, including Sickler at quarterback.
Heard a lot of good things about this young man. JV quarterback, freshman this year. Eli Young split out to the left. Little swing pass, and
that's going to be Sutherland's ball because that was a backward pass.
You kind of got the feeling the timing was just all out of sorts on that.
It certainly was.
So the Challengers, I believe that's their second turnover of the game.
Second fumble.
And now Sutherlin will get it back with 2:28 to go. No doubt they would like to go ahead and put maybe 6, 7 more on the board before the night is over. Not a lot of time to do so with the running clock, but they'll give it a go here.
Challengers looks like a sort of a mix of the first and second team guys out there. Klecker still out here at the cornerback spot, and obviously Peyton Maurer, at his safety spot.
Taj Flora on the run, crosses the 40-yard line up to the 43, taken down by Luke Ryder.
3, second down and 7.
So Luke may be one of those guys playing in a position where we don't get to call his number quite as much, but making some noise here late in the game defensively.
Yeah, he's playing that middle linebacker spot right now, I think. The Christian Flores Alatorre spot.
Oh, yes, old Slug. I hear Slug's getting married soon.
Same number, right? Slug was number 50, if I remember correctly.
I think you're right. Second down and 7 after the pickup of 3 on the play. Going in motion is Philippi. And the Challenger defense closing in. Brandon Van Wart there. And also there, Derek Farmer. Also seeing the ball game, Evan Stonehill.
12.
46 seconds to go, clock running. Sutherland's probably got a couple more plays here. They may take their time and try not to have to punt it or run a play on 4th down. Either way.
3rd down and 12. Terry on the left of Flora, the quarterback. They'll hand the ball to Terry, and he'll try to work his way forward. Looks like he got maybe back to about the original line of scrimmage. And the clock will run with 16 seconds left to go.
4th down and 7.
And I'm 9-8-7. Looks like that's going to be the last play of the football game. Challengers going to win this one 49-6.
And that'll wrap it up. The Cascade Christian Challengers run their record to
Final score, Cascade
2-0 on the young season.
Challengers 49, Sutherlin Bulldogs 6.
Challengers defeat the Bulldogs by a score of 49-6. We'll be back with the Dutch Bros postgame show on TableRockSports.net. That'll be up in 2 minutes.
Are very curious about your new family member.
Hello. We built her so we could get a family plan.
Well, with U.S. Cellular, it's just $19.99 per line for 1, 2, or 3 lines.
I guess we don't need a 4th line anymore.
This is awkward.
U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Visit U.S. Cellular at Siskiyou, Southern Oregon's exclusive authorized agent for U.S. Cellular, now serving Roseburg and Klamath Falls. See SOUScellular.com for details.
For 12 and 3 for 3. 12 for 15.
It's game day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
Daily adventures this summer starts at Pinnacle 365. Accelerate your day with morning motivation. Freshly ground, swiftly brewed. Add some extra crunch to your lunch with our mouth-watering crispy crunchy chicken. The perfect combination of crispy juicy chicken and irresistible flavors. Earn free rewards and save at least 16 cents a gallon with our Peak Rewards app. Get supercharged and add to your fuel savings when you purchase Core Water, Nestle ice cream, and Red Bull. This summer, let's meet at the Peak and save on our daily adventures.
You want diverse venues? We got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
38.
Welcome to the Southern Oregon Sports Commission's Know Your Role postgame show here on TableRockSports.net. Visit TravelMedford.org and search Know Your Role to see how this campaign is changing the culture of youth sports for the better. We'll recap the scoring, and Mark is working on the stat sheet right now. Looking at the scoring from the night, the Challengers hit early and hit often on their opening series. It was Luke Wilson on a 35-yard touchdown run. The point after attempt good by Hoffman to make it 7-0. Then 2 minutes later, it was Moody going to the air, finding Derek Farmer. Farmer catching the short pass, running it in 39 yards for the score. Hoffman good on the point after attempt to make it 14-0. Then Cascade goes to a little ground and pound with 3:59 to go in the first. It was Caleb Scaglione scoring on a 1-yard run. Point after attempt good to make it 21-0. And then Moody with a pair of touchdown passes to Christopher Freilich. The first one, a 30-yarder, followed by a 32-yarder to go into the early second quarter. Hoffman on the second touchdown ended up running it in on a 2-point conversion. Then Brendan Van Mort got some time in the backfield. He ended up running one in from 9 yards out with 8:35 to go in the half. Point after attempt, no good to make it 42-0. And then with 1:37 to go in the second, it was Taj Flora striking for the Bulldogs, scoring on a 14-yard touchdown run. A point after attempt, no good to make it 42-6. And then all the scoring, all took place in the first half with 1:03 left to go in the half. It was Dylan Westlake scoring on a 17-yard touchdown run. Point after attempt by Hoffman good. And that gives you your final score of the Challengers 49 and the Bulldogs 6. Want to remind you that coming up next Friday night, the Challengers will be in action again, this time at home. The Lithia Driveway Gary Wheeler Field. To others of you may know that better as field number 10 in Medford, as the Challengers get set to take on the Brookings Harbor Bruins. For you Challenger fans, especially you students and parents, be watching on the Cascade Christian High School Instagram account this week. You'll find out what the theme night will be for Cascade Christian as they get ready to take on their opponents from the Southern Oregon coast. Our thanks to all our folks here in Sutherlin for hosting us this evening. And Mark, it looks like after doing some furious work there with the calculator and pencil, you're ready to go.
I am. Running clock in the second half, so not a lot of offense by either team. The Challengers had pretty much put the game away by halftime and, took care of business tonight. I mentioned a little bit during the broadcast, thought the offensive efficiency and flow was much, much better in this game than it was against North Valley. And the defense was pretty stout as well, as we'll see from the stats. Sutherlin, first of all, ends the game with 10 first downs in the game. They ran the ball 38 times for 116 yards. That's about 3 yards a carry. Passing for Flora, 5 for 13 for just 13 yards. So total offense for Sutherlin, 129 yards of offense. Return yards for the Bulldogs, they had 85 yards in returns on all those kickoffs that the Challengers kicked to them. So total offense for them, 214 yards of offense, including returns. And a nice night for them, I thought, in the second quarter and really into the rest of the game. They battled a little better with the Challengers than they did in that first quarter, where the Challengers kind of went off on them,
yes,
so to speak. Rushing for Cascade Christian, they had 18 carries for 164 yards. That's 9.1 yards per carry. Very good average for the Challengers tonight. They had 13 first downs in the game. Passing kind of split. Sickler was 3 for 3 and 9 for 12 for Moody for 191 yards. And Sickler was 3 for 3 for 30 yards. For no interceptions for either guy. No return yards for the Challengers. Total offense for Cascade Christian, 383 yards. Penalties for the Challengers. This is going to be the one thing that I think Coach Getman's going to hit on. 7 penalties for 80 yards. Several of those unsportsmanlike penalties, and the Challengers never like to see that. They did have 2 fumbles there at the end of the game that they gave the ball back to the Bulldogs really when it didn't matter at that point. But still, emphasis on taking care of the football is still going to be, I'm sure, a point of emphasis for Coach Getman. Sutherlin had the 2 turnovers on downs. They did have 1 fumble that was recovered by the Challengers and the 1 interception, so 4 turnovers for them. A nice job by Cascade Christian all night long, and just a really solid football game.
So the Challengers go to 2-0 on the season. The Bulldogs go to 0-2 after the heartbreaker loss last week against St. Mary's, and here tonight they play some good football here in the second half, but by then, the damage had already been done. Well, we'd like to thank you for watching tonight's broadcast. We'd like to thank Sutherlin High School Athletic Director Josh Grotting for hosting the Lithia Superstore Game of the Night on TableRockSports.net and today's broadcast. Our special thanks to head coaches Brett Prock and John Getman. Our next Table Rock Sports production featuring Challenger football will be next Friday night as the Challengers host the Bruins. Again, the final score on the John L. Scott scoreboard shows Cascade Christian 49, Sutherland 6. This has been a special presentation of Table Rock Sports. Our executive producer is Joe Brett. With Mark McLemore and cameraman Johnny McCoy, I'm Jim McCoy saying thanks for watching and good night from Sutherlin High School in beautiful Sutherlin, Oregon.